They're not hiding it anymore. Government grocery stores. That's what Elizabeth Warren wants. The same government that loses your mail, wastes your taxes, and can't fix a pothole running your food supply. An AOC just held a meeting so radical that Pelosi and Jeffries refused to attend. What was discussed behind those closed doors? Meanwhile, protesters flood New York City Hall with banners reading "No to Communism." A Chinese billionaire quietly purchased $67 million of American land next to a critical water infrastructure, airports, and defense contractors. They call it progress. History calls it the same ideology that murdered 100 million people. From Congress to your neighborhood, the red tide rises and the masks are off. The agenda is clear, so watch very closely. And while communists promise free health care and government solutions, millions are suffering under their false promises of pain relief. Relief comes from freedom. Freedom to choose natural solutions like Conolidine. Unlike government-controlled medicine that rations care and creates dependence, Conolidine optimizes your body's natural painkillers without dangerous pills or side effects. Over 1 million Americans have broken free from Big Pharma's grip using this proven formula. It's legal, worldwide, certified drug-free, backed by 14 years of research. So don't let socialist healthcare control your pain management. Try Conolidine for less than $1 a day at trycono.com/NNN. You'll find a link down below. You have nothing to lose but your pain. So we have this. Communism failed everywhere that it was tried, bankrupting entire economies, leaving genocides in its wake with more than 100 million killed. Folks like Zohran Mamdani, AOC, and Bernie Sanders want us to give it another try because make it this time around. No commies in the United States. Yep. This is what they want. It's important to remember that in order to redistribute what socialists want, the government must first confiscate. Janine Johnson writing, the heart and soul of liberalism, socialism, and communism is confiscation. Quote tweeting Sadie, the two socialists lying to people, telling them they'll get free stuff. Nothing is free. There's a picture of Bernie and Zohran, whatever his name is. This. 24 hours ago, AOC bringing her commie husband to a secret meeting with Democrats at the House behind closed doors. Pelosi and Jeffries both refused the invitation. Democrats are testing communism. It's insane. Let's hear what Jesse Waters' take is on this.
It's down and had to give her new work husband a chance. She knows it's a tough sell. Her last work husband pulled a fire alarm, and her family says no mas. But AOC's got a thing for bad boy. Today, she snuck Zoolander into the house while everybody was still sleeping. She had him in a little room and pulled the shades down and had people come in one at a time. First up, the crazy aunt.
All right, everyone, I am here with Zohran Mamdani, who is the leading candidate for mayor in New York City. He has so many incredible firsts, but the thing I love about Zohran is what he is doing to lift up working people.
Whatever Zoolander did to Aunt Jayapal work, she said good guys are hard to find, but AOC is one lucky gal.
It's hard not to be won over because it's the combination of his authenticity, his smarts, and his commitment to lifting up working people and making life better for real folks that is really inspiring and not always easy to find.
Some Democrats couldn't even wait for the wedding. They were so excited that love was in the air.
You know, it's just beautiful to have someone who is so authentic. You know, that's money cannot buy that. And we had a great conversation.
Then AOC introduced him to Daddy. Dad's actually a bit of a socialist himself. He's been called a communist his whole life. So he has a soft spot for Zoolander. They hit it off immediately. Zoolander's the son Bernie's always wanted. Sources, Bernie recommended Moscow for the honeymoon. AOC wanted Mom to meet Zoolander too, but Pelosi wasn't around. We always knew Mom was going to be a problem. AOC's been on the phone with her all week. Mom, he's not really a communist. I swear, he's only a socialist. Pelosi's side of the family isn't really into communism. Mom's tried life to keep the communists out of the house. Nancy broke her hip, and she's just not feeling up to it. Uncle Jeff doesn't look like he's going to the wedding either.
Why are you not endorsing the guy that won the Democratic primary in a contested election in your backyard?
Well, I look forward to sitting down and talking to him. I didn't get involved in that primary election, and I don't know him well.
Hips don't lie. Hakeem's like, I don't really know the groom at all. I kind of liked her with Bowman. The whole house was a big pot of gossip. Is he really a communist? What's with the beard? I hear he hates Jews. Is that really true in New York? Aunt Kathy says, don't be panicking. If Bill and Hillary can stay together, we can get through this.
I've become the therapist in chief, it seems. So say to everybody, we're going to be okay. Maybe it's the mom in me. I know how to calm down situations, and we'll get through this. You know, don't panic, everybody.
The house is torn, but people on the street are all voicing their objections. Zoolander was supposed to meet all the bankers yesterday, the guys who were supposed to pay for this wedding, and they bailed. Jamie Dimon was a no-show, and the only bankers who did go thought he dressed really well, but they just don't think he's good enough for their beautiful New York. And no, he's never going to change.
They heard a really charming, affable guy who was well prepared. He made jokes, he made self-deprecating jokes, but they did not hear someone who changed his policies. And so if you had concerns about his economic policies going into the meeting, you had the same concerns going out.
Zoolander doesn't show the kind of smarts and initiative that the family bankers are looking for. AOC was disappointed, but she knew this was going to be an issue. So she sat him down and said, look, my family's spending a lot of money on this wedding. The whole river to the sea thing, that's not going to fly. We can have all the government-run grocery stores we want after the wedding. But for now, just say you're applying to business school, and remember, you're Indian, not black.
Oh, man. Jesse Waters nailing it. The Wind Doctor. Those that don't know the true history of communism are doomed to repeat it. A picture of AOC campaigning with Zoran. Here we have protesters gathered outside New York City Hall chanting, "We will not comply," rallying against Zoran Mamdani.
Quiet, quiet. Comply with Sharia law. We will not comply with Sharia law. We will not comply with Sharia law. Hell no! Hell no! All right, the people. All right, quiet, quiet. Mahmoud Mamdani are both anti-Semites, communists, who equally hate America. Like father, like son, they pose a significant danger to the safety of New York City and America. I asked President Donald J. Trump to revoke the citizenship of Zoran Mamdani and his father, Mahmoud Mamdani, and have them removed from America as soon as possible. Yeah. I'm reading a few quotes. The quotes are very important. One is from...
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Clearly, people in New York rising up against it. Gunter Eagleman says, Pocahontas, remember her? Elizabeth Warren, says government-run grocery stores have been successful in other cities, and he writes a lie. Secondly, the government can't even deliver your mail consistently. There's no way they could run a store. Communism doesn't work. Let's check in with Pocahontas.
We're going to get some food, grocery. He said, we've got a problem with entire food deserts where people can't get access to grocery stores. Said, I'd like to take a look.
What? What'd you say?
You said people are going to die?
Whether or not we can have some kind of, like we do on military bases, you have some kind of support from the city government that says we're going to get some food grocery stores in areas that right now are food deserts. And by the way, it's a new and fresh plan for New York City, but it's been tried in other cities around the country and has had some real successes. So what I hear Mamdani saying is, I want to try things to make it work for working families. And you know what? This is how democracy works. A lot of people in New York City said, that sounds good to me. I'd rather try that than any of the alternatives available to me. I support
Yeah, all right, sure. Whatever you say there. Government-run grocery stores? How about not? And then we're finding out about the China land grab. If you recall, just the other day, Department of Defense, Department of the Interior, they all came out, said they were going to stop this, going to claw back that land. But now we're finding out the Chinese are dominating foreign purchases of U.S. homes.
Action of total
severe housing crisis. So what gives? Grady Trimble from Fox.
I mean, speaking of communists, right?
Business is on
They're moving in next door.
Capitol Hill with more. Hi, Grady.
Dana, good morning to you. The National Association of Realtors says Chinese buyers spent just about $14 billion on U.S. houses and real estate from April of last year through March of this year. So here are the numbers. That's a small fraction of total purchases during that time, but it's an 82.6% increase from the prior year. Most buyers, they say, are using cash, and those buyers report that the purchases are for personal use. Here's why Senator Rick Scott says that's still a big problem.
Every Chinese citizen is responsible by law to spy on Americans. Okay, so why are we letting them in our country and buying our land? We create more opportunities for Americans to buy homes. That's what we should be doing. We should be doing everything we can up here to help Americans afford a home, get a great education for their kids, get a job, and keep them safe.
And if this feels familiar, it's because it's akin to something else we've talked about a lot. That is Chinese entities that are buying farmland in the United States. That's something that the Trump administration is trying to tackle, and something that former Senator Joe Manchin talked about when he returned to the Hill this week. He said that United States entities should reciprocate in China by buying up their land. A bipartisan group of lawmakers also recently introduced a bill, Dana, that would increase oversight on foreign ownership of U.S. farmland. Dana?
Lily Tang Williams, who is running for Congress in New Hampshire, says President Xi Jinping is conducting a soft power invasion of the United States. Listen.
Chinese communist.
I had no idea. So I did some research both in English and Mandarin Chinese, which is my first language, and I was just shocked.
Lily Tang Williams fled Chinese communism and is now running for Congress in New Hampshire.
If you were in China speaking out like this, you would...
I disappear.
You would disappear.
Of course. I'm afraid if I go back, they let me go in, and they don't let me come out. I disappear, but they want me to shut up.
Williams says they want her to shut up about the Chinese soft power invasion and national security concerns of projects like Nung Fu.
What is China trying to do when they buy up all of this land around America?
So I have been trying to warn people. Xi Jinping has a China dream. And his China dream is to use soft power invasion of the United States.
Soft power invasion.
Soft power invasion, business and education, apps like TikTok, WeChat, the media, entertainment, everything they can without fire one shot to expand into Western countries like the United States.
The expansion in Nashua, New Hampshire goes beyond just Nung Fu.
Something else strange, just a couple of miles from where we were, where the Chinese company purchased that building, is this abandoned college, Daniel Webster College. It's a 50-acre site, and it was also purchased by a Chinese investor 7 years ago for $14 million. Much of the campus remains totally abandoned.
The mayor of Nashua tells me that Chinese investor bought the college campus for double what it was worth. And now Nung Fu has come to town, paying 4 times the appraised value. He isn't against the project, but admits it's strange.
If the land was valued at like $15 million and they paid $67 million, I guess I'm still trying.
It's very weird. Why they would do that, I have no idea.
Have you heard anything?
No. It's very puzzling as to why that would happen.
And so, Leland, the mayor says he doesn't have any national security concerns. He says the city will not sell the actual water company, but everyone here is wondering why that Chinese company would pay 4 times the assessed value, why the area near the watershed, and then also the college campus.
I had no idea.
Great questions, huh? The soft invasions here. We know Donald Trump and the DOD are on top of it, and we want them to succeed. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. They think Americans have forgotten history. They think we don't remember when 100 million corpses were left behind by communism. The breadlines, the gulags, the killing fields. But we remember. And now they're bringing it here, wrapped in promises of equity and free stuff. Government grocery stores? See, that's how it starts. First, they control your food, then your health care, and then your thoughts. Then you got a social credit score. AOC's secret meetings, Chinese land grabs near our infrastructure, Warren's socialist fantasies, these are not isolated incidents. It's all coordinated. Promise utopia, Beijing, all right? The CCP buying America piece by piece. They're not even hiding anymore. Protesters see it. Patriots know it. The question is whether we will stop it before the red flag flies over City Hall. So here's my question. Is America already too far down the road to socialism to turn back? Yes or no? Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. And if you want to armor up, check out our American Badass gear in our merch shop. Favorite member of the administration. You can also help us expose President Otto Penn with our hilarious t-shirt, and you can support the new all-inclusive resort for illegals at Alligator Alcatraz. That's right. Trigger a liberal today at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.